In this video, I want to show you the latest version of Luminar and how I'm going to go from this overexposed photo of the Mont Saint-Michel, one of the most crazy places on the planet, to this. You're going to learn so much if you watch till the end. So let's go. In case you don't know me, my name is Serge Remini. I'm a French photographer living in the US, and my work is in 120 galleries around the world. I'm the official photographer of Las Vegas, and I've published 8 coffee table books through 10 Hours Publishing, a German publisher all over the world. And I love using Luminar. So let me show you. This is a photo that I shot with a Leica Q3 by hand, at the Mont Saint-Michel, but it's very overexposed. So it's a raw file. And when you have a raw file in Luminar, you can see develop raw here is active. I mean, it's a little blue, it says raw. So we're gonna develop the photo first, okay? So first of all, the photo is way too bright, so I'm gonna lower the exposure really quick like this. Ooh, I like that. And then I'm going to open the shadow about half the way. I kind of want to see what's going on in the shadow. I want to bring down the highlights so I can get some of the details of the sky here. And the photo is very washed out. So one trick is you see blacks here by default is off. I'm going to turn it on. And what blacks is you see the histogram here. I want to take the darkest photo and make them really darker. And that's going to add a lot of contrast to the photo. So I like that. And then I'm going to boost it with the white. So it's already a bit better. You can see before the development, after, but it's still a very boring photo. One thing I'm going to do is on the white balance, because it's a raw file, and so you can change the white balance afterwards. I think on this one, I'm going to go to shade. Wow, even shade is very warm. If I go to daylight, it's going to be very blue. I think let's go to shade, or maybe let's go to cloudy and add a little bit of magenta. And maybe let's warm it up a little bit like that. But what I love about Luminar, it's got incredible tools to take this to a whole different level, especially when it comes to colors. Okay, I think on this one, I'm going to add a bit more vibrance to it because it's a really not great, but now it's too blue. So I think I'm just going to warm it up a little bit here. You see, what you don't want to do with the white balance, you see how the clouds are blue here? If I move the temperature all the way here, they become gray. I kind of like the color here and they become gray, but it's either one of them. So what you can do is just push your white balance as long as your clouds stay in the blue and you see a bit of orange, because now we're going to use an incredible filter to get the sunset back, because the overexposed killed the colors completely. It was a beautiful sunset. So let me see here. What I'm going to do is let's make this straight first. I'm going to go to crop AI. And I'm going to go to 16:9 because that's my screen resolution. And then I'm going to click on horizon alignment. Okay, if that doesn't work, that's fine. You can just align it yourself by rotating the photo. But you see, this is way too centered. So I'm going to make this a bit smaller. And I'm going to kind of go rule of third, where you get like, basically, I like kind of like that. Yeah, like that, like a third of sky, 2/3 of the water. I kind of like that. I'm going to press enter. And it's going to give me that crop. Now it's straight, but wow, it's still really bad. My gosh, I'm about to blow your mind because I don't know any other software that has what I'm about to show you. The first one is landscape. Now, when you go to landscape here, into landscape section, you go to landscape. You can go to golden hour. And now check this, what golden hour is going to do. Golden hour is going to bring back a lot of the warm colors without killing the blue. So on this one, I'm going to put it almost all the way. I like what it does on the sky. I don't like what it does here on the grass. So what you can do is you can go to masking, and you can go to brush, and you can go to erase. And I'm going to put a big brush. And I'm only going to erase half of the filter. So I'm going to put the strength at 50. So now I have an eraser that's going to erase half of the effect as I paint. So now I'm just going to paint on the grass. I don't like what it does on the grass. And I'm going to erase the effect that it does on the grass. So check it out. Before, after. So now it's mostly on the sky. Okay, good. But we're not done. We are far from done. I want to go to the AI Enhance, which is here on Enhance AI. Now you got always 2 settings here. The first one is called accent. And what that's going to do, if you bring all the way there, it's going to give like what we call an HDR look. I never go all the way. And I'm like, where could that be interesting? So I think on this one, I like what it does on the water. And so, and what about Sky Enhancer? Sky Enhancer is good. I like what it does on the sky. I don't like what it does on the Mont Saint Michel and on this. So that effect, you see, before and after, I'm only going to painting on the sky and here. So same thing, I'm going to do the masking. I'm going to go to brush, but this time I'm going to go to paint. I'm going to paint the effect only where I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to put the strands maybe at 70%. So I want the sky to have the effect, and most of the sky, and I want the water to have the effect here, and maybe the sky here. And check it out, before, after. So now it's only on the sky and only on the water, not on the grass, which is kind of cool. And if you think the effect is too strong, you can go back to adjustment and just lower the accent or put it, I kind of like what it does because we're only using it on the sky and on the water. But I find that the photo is too evenly led. I wish the sky would be a bit darker. Like something is not right. One of the most crazy feature, and I don't know any software that has that, is the light depths creative. So you go to creative and you go to light depths, and what this does, I remember in 2010 I went to a workshop with Joe McNally, who had done like many National Geographic cover, and he said something that stayed with me my whole life. He said an object which is partially LED is more interesting than an object which is fully LED. Well, so let me show you what that means. So check this out. You see here, there's some light here. If I put the amount all the way to 100 and I move this around, check this out. It's kind of like if I have some light and the light is based on depth. So here it's in front of the photo and here is in the back and all the way. So it's a depth map. So I like what it does here, adding a bit more light. I like how it makes everything else darker. It's a bit strong. So I'm going to lower the effect, but check it out. Before, after. It totally changed the game of the light. It totally changed the game. I really like that. But now I think I want to add a little more contrast to the photo. So there's a feature called super contrast, which I love. And check this out. Super contrast is basically going to add contrast in the highlights. So in the brightest part, so mostly on the sky here, I'm going to put very strong. On the midtones, which is also some of the sky here. And then on the shadows. Now I don't like what it does on the shadows there. So you do one by one and see what it does. But check this out. Before, after. I feel like we could get even more contrast on a photo. So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a double development. So I'm going to go to develop again, and I'm just going to add some smart contrast because I want to be smart. Maybe make it brighter, make it darker, not just a bit more contrast so it's a bit stronger. Maybe, let's see here, what would happen if we add even more yellow? Yeah, not so much, a bit more magenta. You have to be very gentle at this point, but check this out. Before, after. I mean, we're getting all the colors back. It's kind of crazy. I think now it's too blue. So it's fine. I'm not going to go further on that. I like one last touch to really get the colors where I want it to be. I go all the way down and I'm going to go to the first dodge and burn. First dodge and burn. I'm going to go here. So what is dodge and burn? It's the ability to make the photo darker or brighter locally. So I think I want to darken the top of the sky. So I'm going to put a big brush and half of the strands in it, or maybe even a quarter of the strands. And I'm just going to brush here. I want to darken the top of the sky. And then I want to lighten a little bit here even more in the water. Yeah, like that. And if you think it's too strong, you can just go darken and just put a little bit of erase. And now I'm going to erase what I did, or even you go to erase, put the strength like very low, and I'm erasing and making a big size brush. I'm erasing what I'm doing. So let's see, before the dodge and burn, it just made the water a bit brighter in this. And then color harmony is kind of cool. This is when everything comes together, where here on Bryant's, you can go on the right side, you can make things very saturated, on the left side very black and white. I think on this one I'm going to go a bit left. It's too saturated for me. And then warms, if I go left, it's going to make the photo a lot more blue, and I go right a lot more. I think I want to make it a bit more blue. It's more natural. Blue to orange. Let's see here. Before, after. Before, after. I love it. I think I want just to add a bit more red in the sky. So you know what? You can do a double development. I can go back to landscape here and add the golden hour, and maybe the golden hour, and just add it a little bit here on the sky, and not everywhere, just a little bit. So you go to masking, same thing, you take a brush, strengths 50%. I'm just gonna add a little bit more yellow just here and here, just a little bit here. Before, after, just a tad, a little bit. And check this out, before, after. Luminar has got really a nice overall development. It's very stable. I really love it. I mean, come on, before, after, it's insane what you can do with this software. You get a special price if you buy it from the link under the video. And I hope you enjoy Luminar. It's, for me, it is the only third-party tool that I use when I'm not using Lightroom and Photoshop. I am a Luminar guy. There's a lot of photos I'm getting nowhere in Lightroom that I go for Luminar and I get incredible results. So check out Luminar. It's an amazing software.